Hello, welcome to the Alex, Mitch and Trent show. I'm Alex.
I'm Mitch.
And I'm Trent. Oh, God, that sounds good.
Thank you. You'll get better.
That was fantastic. Rightio. Welcome to the podcast. This is our first episode. It's going to be awful. So if you tune in for the first half an hour or so.
Hence the gusto that apparently we're lacking.
We'll pick our game up, don't worry.
Yeah. So, guys, we decided to do a podcast about maybe last year-ish.
Yeah, sort of when you were like deep in the scene and you were talking about it heaps and sounded pretty interesting. Sounded like a lot of fun.
And we kind of discussed doing this, and we discussed doing it like in a podcast space and kind of
like a studio or whatever.
Like a studio sort of thing. And we kind of decided that just wasn't going to work. And so we kind of went into, we went to discussing Victoria University, go there, do a podcast there. We discussed doing it like one of my old workplaces there. Just didn't kind of come to be. And so we did the best thing we could ever do is that we're doing it in my house. Or our house, Alex.
I was about to say,
gee whiz, claiming it all.
We're doing it currently in our kitchen, and so the soundproofing is awful. So you'll be able to hear the car crashes that happen at the roundabout outside. We're right next to a bar, so please, boys, help yourself anytime you want. We've got a dripping tap and a humming light above us. So
and the toilet flushes frequently.
Toilet does flush.
Yes, it does.
Frequently. And I guess I'm going to circle back around to this, is what is our podcast about?
Well, for
I
me,
thought you were starting.
I was going to say, do you want to start?
No,
I want to start.
I'm asking you guys, what's the podcast about? Yeah, so
Ladies first. No, I've already...
let me take the reins here. No. This podcast is going to be about ourselves and our journey of life and how we met each other early on, and then we'll just progress through there about all sorts of shit, really.
Yeah. We met each other about over 10 years ago. I think
By
it's
now,
been
it's
about
way
a decade
longer
now.
than...
I've known
We
you
can
as
nearly
long
say
as-
a decade. That's a
terrifying.
notch on the belt.
I feel like me and you, Mitch, can say a decade. I think me and Alex are a little bit longer. But then also, Alex, you knew Mitch before I knew Mitch. So I think
we knew each other.
we
at
both
different
know
points.
Alex.
I'm the mutual friend between.
Yes.
And when I was trying to explain this to producer Jason about this, is that you're essentially the meat. He said, well, essentially, you're the meat in our sandwich.
What a metaphor. Jeez Louise. The question
It's a
is,
sandwich with a lot.
what type of meat, though, am I? That's the real question.
You're a hot salami.
Hot
salami.
If I had a choice, that would actually be one of my
Or maybe
favorites.
like a chorizo sausage.
Oh. So what? Are you guys
You up
brioche?
with a
What are you?
Brioche. Oh, what are we?
Nah,
Oh,
I'm
Italian
chicken
herbs
breast.
and cheese.
Premium chicken breast.
No,
bro.
I'm the meat.
You're meat.
You're
Italian herbs and cheese.
Sorry, I'm still on the meat train. Am I the bread or the cheese?
I'm the meat, and you guys.
But then there's cheese.
Oh no, he can be
There's
the
gotta be
brioche
cheese in
buns,
this.
and you can be like the.
Can I be the
fillings.
cheese?
You can be cheese and like
Yeah.
a sauce.
Flavour.
I want to be
Something.
strong and
Is that
bitey
what you
cheese. Bigger, strong and bitey
Oh,
cheese.
you can be the strong and bitey cheese
I'm
that
bigger,
glues
strong
us
and
together,
bitey cheese.
and you're the buns. You can be brioche.
I'll be a brioche
You're
bun.
quite.
I'll be a
sweet man.
buttery brioche bun.
Any salads or no?
No, it's all right. No salads. Take
Don't
Give
do
us any Subway order. Come on. No salad.
True.
Well, look, we come from 3 different walks of life, and you guys hate. I've been saying that for a bit today. And
Yeah.
we're gonna-
Yeah.
you
All this
hate-
practice is about walks of life. It's
Yeah.
great.
It's just how I work it out in my
Yeah, no,
head.
that's
It's just
all right.
how I work
That's
it
all
out in my
right.
head.
Yeah,
It
walks
makes
of
sense
life.
to me. I'm the media guy, and I've always been a media guy, and I feel like you guys know that I've always obsessed with that since I was younger, and I've gone on to work in it.
Yep.
But I thought, well, we'll tell everybody else what you guys might do.
Yeah, I'm happy to go first.
Yeah.
I studied to be a teacher about 3 years ago. 4 years of study. Started in IT at first because I wanted to be an IT teacher, and
You
then
was shit at that.
I was pretty good at that, and then
Confirm.
I kind of started with diploma of IT, and then went on to my bachelor's of IT. But then I realised that programming was the worst thing that's ever happened in my life.
I remember because we will learn is that
Yeah.
we lived together for a while,
Yeah.
and I remember him just screaming about that.
It was an interesting journey. The pass rate of the unit was like 20-30% for everyone. So I was like, you know what? I wanted to be a teacher originally, so I jumped across to teaching, and here I am today,
suits you
a
well.
primary
It
school
suits
teacher.
You haven't
well.
looked back, honestly.
Yeah.
I
You haven't.
haven't.
I don't think you've
I
ever
love my
spoken
job.
a bad word. Like,
Yeah.
everyone has their like.
Days.
You know, there are days where you just can't be fucked
No.
or whatever, but it's never like a disdain towards that
No, I love it.
That
I love my job.
you've always got that passion there, which is, I think, amazing. Yeah.
I think also that links into the reason why is majority of my family works in education or works with kids anyways.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I fell in love with my job, and that's what I do.
I remember seeing like a video of you teaching for the first time, and it was the craziest thing to me.
Dude,
It was
I
the
do remember
craziest thing.
I wasn't even a qualified teacher then.
No.
I was a bubba. I was on my placement. That was disgusting.
It would have been perfect like kindergarten, though. Not gonna lie, the way you spoke, you were very like.
I love that.
Like vibrant.
Oh,
like, your hands
yeah,
are
I'm
flailing
hectic.
around, dude.
Yeah, the kids
Like
love
this
that.
high pitched like
Yeah,
SpongeBob voice.
Yeah, literally, that's me. Yeah, that's why I love my new job because I can teach all year levels, so I can just be dumb all the time. It's great. It's great.
And Mitch, what about you?
I've been sort of bounced around a few different sort of career places.
I feel we've almost done that similar as well in our own way.
Yeah.
I done media as well, but I found that now.
Yeah, like sort of. I went from a lot of family-owned business. Growing up, we had a jumping castle business out of our own house. We just literally had a garage full of jumping castles. So every weekend when I was still end of primary school, most of high school, I was doing that. And then I got into trades, pretty heavily into carpentry. Loved that. Just couldn't get anywhere with just the situation of where I was at and who I was trying to go through. After doing a few other different jobs here and there, I stumbled into a place called Bowen's, which is, if you don't know, it's similar to Bunnings, I guess. Just timber, build houses, build dreams, whatever.
I knew that was coming.
I won't say the whole thing.
No, go.
I could have bet $100 that was coming.
Anyway, yeah, and I've been at Bowen's now 7 years. Virtually done every role at that company that you can do aside from being like a manager of a store. So just learning as much as I can, taking as many opportunities as I can, and see where that takes me.
You were saying like your family before is like you've got a work ethic on you. Like,
I've been working literally since I was 11.
Job,
Since I was 11. It's always been hands-on sort of work. I did aircon installation. I've done timber floors, all kinds of sort of different trades.
Jack of all trades, man.
Jack of all trades, but master of none. Like I'm not that flash at any of them, but I can jump on the end and give you a hand.
I think the one you're in now, you're mastered, mate.
Well, yeah, but that's 7 years. But that's it's not really a trade, I suppose. It's just I work sort of in the operations side now, so I'm just managing a select group that works. Obviously there's a sales scene in retail and in operations. The operations side is where I sort of found my strength.
Yeah.
Just love getting amongst it with everybody and getting the job done. Pretty satisfying. So
as I was saying, is like I worked in media. You work as a teacher, and you were in almost a trade.
Yeah.
Housing and supplies, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
You work on that. We're three very different people. And I always find it very interesting at how we kind of met. Me and Alex went to primary school together. Like, I've known him since I've known his face since I was in prep. I interacted with him like the first time in grade 4, grade 5. And then in year 7, year 8, we're in the same class.
It's coming, everyone. It's building it up.
And I don't think I had one good interaction.
I don't doubt that.
Yeah.
I'm the same as Alex. I would have been such a little shit in those years growing up. Oh.
That specific memory, I remember you were saying, Troz, you were saying about when we were in primary school and you were like, you used to be such a little annoying child. Like, I was so annoying. And
mushroom haircut.
I've no doubts.
Haircut.
I have no doubts that I was annoying.
Blonde with one earring.
Yeah, I was so cool. And I remember him saying that to me, and then as soon as Troz said it, I was just like, I don't even remember you in primary school. Like you were like this annoying guy, and I'm like, who's this guy? I don't even remember his face.
I was when
brutal. That's the specific memory that I had.
It's fair. No, I just remember him like we used to play tag in primary school, little germ.
I was 100%. I've raised my hand on my chest.
It's like he'd be the other class next to me, I'd be the class here, and he'd be a little germ, and I couldn't stand him.
Do you know what I think it was? I've actually discovered it. It's because I was the youngest child.
Yeah.
I was the youngest child. I'm not the biggest. I'm okay.
He really like finish off that statement.
I'm not as bad.
You nearly finished it. You're like, I'm a young. Oh yeah,
I'm
no,
a
actually,
I'm a little bit. Okay, a little bit.
have
Yeah,
a
little
yeah,
shit,
yeah.
Trent. That's what you are.
Yeah, no, fair call. No, you're right. I tried.
You
But,
do try.
yeah,
That's
you,
what matters.
But you don't try to hide it, Alex.
not anymore. No.
no. But yeah, no. We officially started talking just in class, like year 8, I think it was, and we were talking about Halo. And then all of a sudden we were friends, and it's just kind of been a blur since.
Yeah.
From that, is that we were hanging out a bit. I was a bit like introvert. Is that the word? No, I was introverted. Yeah. I was totally. Now I am extroverted.
Yes.
Because of Alex, essentially. Hanging around Alex, he made me very much a people person.
And it's so funny because I'm actually quite introverted. As
yeah,
well.
you've turned a little bit introverted.
Yeah, I think I'm actually quite introverted. It's just depends on the scenario. Guess who I'm with. If I'm really comfortable,
I'm the exact same. I could be like the most introverted person if I'm not around the people that I'm usually around.
Yeah.
But you put me in a room with 3,000 people and Alex. Yeah. And I'm extrovert.
I'm the exact same.
Yeah. Or Trent, or
if you got
or Jimmy, Paul, you name it.
Yeah.
As long as I got that one, then I'm a complete different cat. Yeah.
I remember when me and you first met, you weren't introverted. I think me and you, it actually took a while for me and you to kind of get to know each other.
Yeah.
Obviously, some people just kind of click and off you kind of go.
I think just more so like how you had your own like the way that we grew up, like in those sort of years, like that. 11 to 15?
Yeah.
Very, very different to sort of how, like, I was sort of, you were working as well. I just school, work, that's it. Like, I didn't really do anything after school with friends or anything.
Yeah.
No, like, I had cricket.
Yeah.
And I played sport pretty heavily back then. But
do you remember how you tried to break the ice with me?
Oh my god!
Which time?
Yeah,
the one main time that I remember, which scars me.
I'm nervous.
You were asleep and you woke up and I was just right next to you in your bed. But anyway,
That actually happened.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's fun.
Well,
Back to
I think the first time was the first time I was ever invited over to your house. And I think
I do recall that one.
And then so I'll come over and I was like, just bring some video games, bring some movies, bring some snacks. It'd be great. Can't go wrong.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, sweet. This is going to be great.
What do you bring, Alex? What do you bring?
I would have brought a nice coffee, maybe.
No, what games did he bring?
I don't know, like Call of Duty, I assume.
Yeah, but what?
Call of Duty.
I can't remember.
I'm pretty
the worst
sure I
memory.
I reckon I got SmackDown versus Raw because that was big back then.
How many games did he bring? Do you remember?
He brought about four
games.
Yeah, 4 or 5
and then
games.
like 2 movies.
Hey, Alex, what console have I always played?
PS1. Xbox.
I've always played Xbox.
Yeah.
What did you bring?
I remember now.
I was going to say we were talking.
Oh god, I remember.
I rocked up, ready for a new experience. Walk in the door,
That's so
guys. Here's what I bought: all PlayStation games.
All PlayStation games.
PlayStation, and I think I bought like PlayStation 2 stuff when you had like an Xbox One, which would have been like a PlayStation 3 equivalent.
Yeah.
I just completely bought all the wrong games. I bought 2 good movies, I think. Can't remember.
I think that kind of sums up our
What
friendship,
movies?
doesn't it?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I bought movies.
He bought
Maybe I
some.
did.
You know what? This is when we kind of became more friends, and we're like, I remember you, and it was so sweet, and I love you so much for this, Mitch. Is that we were singing Mumford and Sons.
Oh yeah, and I just yeah.
You remember this?
But I know them all now.
It's quite. Yeah, no. It was such a sweet moment. I love this. Alex made fun of it. Alex ripped into you, Mitch. I
can't even remember.
In the corner, you two on my 2 recliners that were facing me, and we're just laying in my room. I think TV was off, and we're just listening to music, and we're listening to Mumford and Sons, right? And you didn't know any of the lyrics, but all your music, you had music videos that had lyrics.
Yeah,
that's the best way to learn
use
them.
an app called Tubebox. This is well before.
Tubebox,
I hope it was well before Spotify.
Yeah,
but anyway, the only way you could listen to music is you had to download it off YouTube. And I'd always download the lyric ones because I was always just fascinated about the lyrics. But that's how I learned music, was by sitting and reading it. And that was just a thing.
And so you were sitting there like trying to act all cool, all that sort of.
I was singing all. Yeah.
And I was singing Mumford and Sons word for word. And Alex says, Mitch, are you reading the lyrics? of that?
I
And
thought that was
you
a
ma-
thing.
I was like,
I buried that memory. I do
I
not
was
remember
like,
that memory
was
until you
so
brought it
sweet,
up.
Mitch. I was really cute, and then Alex ripped you a
Yeah.
shots.
Mate, I'm sorry, I don't-
That was literally just.
I was just
That
stating.
was how I listened to music growing up.
I was just making an observation of what I was seeing.
'Cause at that age, I couldn't like concentrate to a song just by listening to him. Like, I know the lyrics now. Like, I had to visually understand it.
Yeah, we're all
Otherwise,
different
I'd just
learners.
literally sing the wrong words all the time, and that annoyed me.
I still do that. Still do this
See,
day.
now I haven't watched a lyric video in forever.
You just read the lyrics on Spotify.
Until Spotify
Now
came
it's
out with
on the projector.
Alex, how did you meet Mitch? Because even I'm
yeah, so as best as I can, Mitchell's going to jump in at any point to save me because I'm shocking with my memory. So we met through mutuals. We kind of had mutual friends. I kind of was like friends with like lots of different people. I didn't have a real close group at high school.
I was never like that. Either.
So that's kind of how we met through other mutuals. But when we truly bonded and became friends was outdoor education camp in year 10. We went camping
We
to
didn't even sleep. We had that many Skittles and lollies and that. We were literally just laying, like we'd wake up and there was just Skittles stuck to us.
Was it the Grampians? Do you remember where it was?
I couldn't tell you where it was.
I think it was the Grampians. Anyways, we went camping year 10, outdoor education camp. Shout out to Mr. Hodge. That was incredible. We went, there were lots of fun memories. It was really, really good. But yeah, that's where we kind of bonded. We slept in the same tent. I mean that in the most respectful way. I mean, we had a really good time and it was awesome.
Any shit joke that no one else would laugh at, me and Alex in stitches.
What about Ree?
I remember we sat on the bus the whole way back 3 hours and me and him were in the middle of the bus, just out the window screaming Ree.
Because
and crying.
Yeah, in tears.
I didn't even
You
have
haven't
any
changed. You still do that today.
Yeah.
You still do the exact same thing.
I was in my own little bubble with Alex. Didn't care about anyone in the bus.
Yeah.
Everyone was looking at us like,
It's kind
what
of
is
sums
wrong
us up
with you?
in that way because we're just dumb and then people are like, these idiots. But we're having the time of their life.
But then eventually they're like,
And-
I want to be with these idiots.
Yeah.
And that was cool.
And I think just to give a visual of what this Ree thing is, just imagine like an open field. He's really laughing. Imagine like an open field, like with hay, where you can just like walk like flowers,
Sunset
and then
in the
just
distance.
sunset, beautiful. Everything is dynamic, like a romantic,
halo.
a romantic walk. Imagine that, and then a person just sprinting at full pace, yelling "Ree" as they're running, and that's what Ree was to us because we'd see like a beautiful sunset and like beautiful grass. We just and we could vision just sprinting.
Ruin that visual
Yeah.
by imagining someone just sprinting.
Sprinting.
Like,
Yeah, just running, just like
we just thought it was fucking hilarious.
yeah. And that's kind of how we met.
You know,
cute.
explaining it out loud then it probably wasn't as funny. But
Giving that visual
But you really
of
broke
how
it down
dumb
for
we
me,
are.
and now I understand. I get it now. Yeah.
I taught something. My job.
Teacher, yeah, fair cool, yeah. Then us three have moved on, and we've just been through so much. And I think like this podcast is going to be kind of telling old stories.
Yeah.
We met a lot of people going on through life, and it's kind of like you run into one of those people, and you guys still friends?
yeah.
You know, it happens quite a lot. It's just not, and that's why there's a dynamic between us three, and I think it's really. This podcast is sort of show that. And also, I just want to talk shit with my the two best mates.
I didn't realize
Just got axed.
We've just
Yeah, producer Jason.
All right, this down, Trent. He can hear everything.
added another best friend.
He heard that.
We have another best friend coming in.
Hey, my imaginary friend.
We're gonna change the title now.
Me and Alex have a thing where we have bets all the time. All right, and obviously Mitch has to hear it all.
I don't condone betting, by the way. I'm just just laugh on it.
No,
Don't
it's
gamble.
Bets
Don't
like,
gamble.
Gambling is wrong, and if you have an
How do I
addiction,
explain this, Rob? It's bets like
1-800, no gambling.
yeah, 1-800, stop gambling, stop ruining families.
Carry on, Trent. Sorry.
Yeah. But it's stuff like, hey, I ate 100 nuggets when I was 16 years old. Alex does not believe me.
Oh God!
And I want this podcast to be a part of things where I prove him wrong. I can do it today. I'm 26 years old.
You can't do it.
I can do it today. And
You're
then,
not gonna-
that's the sort of thing, that's the dynamic
you
me and
physically
Alex.
can't. You
He's
can't.
trying to hurt me and bring me down, and I'm trying to be like, hey.
hurt you. I'm trying to hurt you.
And Mitch just kind of jumps in and is just like, yeah, go on.
Gotta go.
I think I could bet money that Mitchell
Still
Coy
no
could
gambling.
eat.
1-800 no gambling.
Yeah, 100%. Please don't gamble. But $100.
I mean, he only bets $10 bets. So,
Yeah. So only if it's 2 for 1. $100.
If you can afford it.
$100. I reckon Mitch would slam you on a 100 nugget challenge.
Yeah.
I reckon he'd absolutely smash. Like Trent can't do 100 nuggets. We know that. But I think Mitchell, if you did compete, you'd smash him.
If I wanted to do 100 nuggets, God, I would do 100 nuggets.
Yeah, we've already tried remember when we did the Warhead challenge, me and you?
Yeah,
and then you got destroyed. Remember that?
Yeah,
Trent?
and then I put 12 warheads in my mouth and I burnt the inside of my mouth.
Yeah, we're bleeding from the tongue. Yeah, we both were, but I won, so that's all that matters.
I couldn't eat for 3 days.
Yeah, it was worth it though.
But yeah,
I won.
I think that's.
I still won.
I think that's what our podcast is going to be sort of about. Is sort of just showing a dynamic,
Bit of fun.
old stories. We'll do some weird YouTube shit. Kind of make it, keep. I explain things weirdly. I'm sorry.
That's
That's how I get my head around.
That is an understatement. That is an understatement.
I think it's going to be a lot, we'll have a lot of chats about, old stories, but I feel like all of us collectively have so much cool shit going on in future as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be a fun part to bring to the
Is that we're
the
going to
chat
be
show
three
as well.
white guys just kind of
talking
talking about how we're so
I'm so brown.
I wake up every
And
morning
Mitchell's
with
so
a
dark.
big smile on my face. No, I don't mean it like that. It's
No,
just we're not going to limit it to things we've done. It's just like
Yeah. The door's
about
open,
the
mate.
future. Door's open.
what do you want it to be, Alex?
I want it just a bit of fun.
Yeah.
That's literally the definition. I just want three best friends four best friends all together having a bit of fun.
Okay, we're
That's
getting
what I wanted.
close to the half an hour mark. All right, and I think how we should kind of end our show is. Thank you, Mr. Jason, for this laughing.
Yeah, no, you don't. I don't reckon you should say that.
Lead on in.
I tried. And he was like,
You'll go through the thing.
yeah.
Okay, all right. So Alex, want to lead in?
Well, let me do a practice way. So we're hitting the 30-minute mark. My name is Trent. 30-minute mark is near.
Time to talk about 2021.
I think a good way to end the show.
I like numbers 20 to 1. I'm crying, man. It makes me sick.
I have to shut that shit down.
So essentially, one thing I was thinking about was what is this year going to look like, considering we're only a couple months in. Be pretty big steps for me. Like I've got a house by the end of the year that will probably be built closer to work and just to live out of home for the first time independently.
We've kind of lived together for
Yeah,
so
I've
long.
always lived with someone my entire life. I've never lived by myself. Obviously, I do aim to live with my partner down the track, but yeah, getting a house is a huge thing. Yeah, so career-wise, happy where I am. Different school, love it. Still love my best mates. Sometimes they annoy me, but they're still pretty good.
Really hard.
Yes, I did. I wish there was a camera.
Especially when they chime in with
Yeah,
nonsense like that.
Oh god.
All right, we're about the 30-minute mark, you guys. No. All right, Mitchie, I think that's all I've got, mate. You can go.
You know, just-
No, this year for me is going to be cool. I'm putting a lot of effort into spending time doing activities outside of my work hours. I've never done that. I've always just sort of worked and waited to the weekend, and I'm kind of sick of that. So I'm trying to allow myself time after each shift to do something that I like. Podcast, great example. Me and Trent, we're doing something pretty cool. I don't know if we're going to talk about that now or
mention that we're wrestling.
we can mention it. We're taking up pro wrestling just as a bit of fun. Shout out to The Rock if you smell what The Rock is cooking. Hashtag shouldn't have said that. But yeah, my goal this year is pretty much to spend as much time doing things that I enjoy outside of my work hours as possible with the people that I want to spend that time with. That's what 2022 is going to be for me. Trent, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm just wrapping up some university studies, getting back into work, finding my sort of place in life. Really, it sounds really silly. Like
I get it.
COVID was a rough few years.
Yep.
And I'm trying to almost start fresh. And so like wrestling and this podcast with you guys, I think it's really a really sweet thing. It really tickles my little creative side.
Oh God! No tickling on the podcast.
PG.
I've got a fiance as well, and so I'm working to save for an engagement party and down the line a wedding, house, all that jazz.
Fucks.
So trying to just walk life and have fun and find that work-life balance. And I think I'm going to find it, I reckon, this year. This is going to be the year I find that. Yeah.
The walk of life, Trent.
Walk of
Couldn't have
life.
said anything better. Walk of life.
The circle of life.
All circles back to the walk of life, yeah. But yeah, look, on that note, I remember the first time I got in front of a microphone, I was terrified. And I saw Mitch step in front of that microphone today, and I was like, how are you doing?
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's staring me right in the face.
You're lucky you can't see.
There's like
Mitch's
there's no
face.
camera because literally, if you looked at me, I'm literally just staring off into.
Yeah,
I've been staring at a curtain for the majority of this.
Yeah,
I'm really
podcast.
Yeah.
Focusing on other things so that I can keep talking.
yeah, I'm the same.
So same thing, staring off and
No,
You got like an extra little thing.
I just feel like
like a fan.
I feel like someone's about to headbutt me. If I could sum it up. No, I feel fine. I just feel like I'm having a conversation.
No, I'm really glad we're kind of doing this, and I think we can,
I think it's cool.
We'll see what we can do. If people want to listen, they can listen. You guys know the start. Oh my god, I fucked it.
That could have been good. You had the perfect line and you messed it up. God damn it, Trent. What the fuck?
We do know the start.
Jeez
We have been here
Louise.
since the start.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that statement, Trent. You couldn't have hit it.
Okay.
On the-
Just finish it with the bag, mate. Go on.
Go on, son.
I'm trying to learn how to finish a show here.
PG.
No, boys, this has been a really fun experience, this first one, and great banter and that. I think we have something going on, and I want everyone to hopefully tune in next week.
Or
don't. We'll be back regardless.